Hi dudes, Climax 4 explained here. Today I will demonstrate to you a 2020 Chinese fantasy thriller movie named Big Octopus. The movie starts with three people carrying a baby white octopus. One of them aspired to kill the young octopus, but Feng stops him from doing this and takes the baby octopus with him. When Zhangyú learns about this, she reaches here to see the baby octopus. Actually, Zhangyú is a friend of Feng's. She is a scientist. After watching it, Zhangyú notifies Zhang that isn't an average octopus, which is why you don't sell it, Feng. Feng agrees with Zhangyú, and we later see a beach scene. A gigantic octopus seems out of nowhere and drags a girl into the ocean. As a result of this, everyone on the beach starts running. Despite the fact that the gigantic octopus there murders a plenty of people. The following scene shows a man named Lin, who is the owner of a biotechnological lab. Some people had taken him here, but an officer arrives with his companions later. After killing all of these people, he saves Lin. Lin is interrogated by an army officer about why these people have kidnapped you. Lin claims that they were possibly aware of my experiments. In the next scene, Zhangyú notices that all of her experimental samples have vanished from her lab. Lin, the owner of the biotechnological lab, arrives in the meantime. He proposes to Zhangyú that they work on a mutant gene. Zhangyú, on the other hand, denies his offer because she isn't interested in such things. Meanwhile, Lin tells Zhangyú, if you help me in completing this project, I'll cover your experiments for 5 years. We later see Lin, who is instructed to Zhangyú's friend Feng. He offers him a large sum of money in exchange for the white octopus. Feng clearly rejects to accept this offer. In the meantime, Zhangyú reaches, and Feng rushes over to greet her. You must have heard about the beach attack, where a giant octopus attacked. This, I believe, has something to do with the white octopus that you have. That is why you must return it to the ocean and discharge him. Feng says to Zhangyú, nothing is as it appears, it's all a trick of the eye. It could be an accident. I'm not going to free it, rather will keep it with me. Zhangyú angrily leaves from there. In the next scene, we see Lin's assistant who asks some people to bring the white octopus. Later, we see Zhangyú agrees to work with Lin. In the meantime, something in the water is detected by satellite. That was really the giant octopus. They learn later that the giant octopus is headed for Feng's restaurant. Zhangyú notices this and hurries to the location. The giant octopus has emerged from the sea on the other side. Everyone there feels frightened and begins to flee as a result of this. After attacking them, the gigantic octopus starts to injure a large number of people. Feng and his two friends try to stop him as they are watching, but it was giant in size and hazardous that to resist him was quite impossible. Meanwhile, someone secretly tries to run after taking Feng's truck. In the same truck, Feng had kept the white octopus. Watching the truck going from there, the giant octopus becomes ragged. It becomes aggressive sufficient that breaks Feng's restaurant. Meanwhile, Zhangyú also comes there. Feng begins to chase his truck after sitting with her. Later, he managed to climb on his truck. After taking out the driver, he takes control of his truck. During this, Zhangyú's car clashes with a tree due to the car's imbalance. Zhangyú remains unharmed. Her life has been saved. In the next scene, Zhangyú brings Feng into her home. Feng is very upset because his restaurant has been ruined. The fact that he is heavily in debt is the most serious issue. Feng is calmed by Zhangyú, who asks him not to be tense. Don't worry, I'll sell my house to help you in repaying your debt. Feng doesn't want Zhangyú to sell her home. Following morning, he sells his white octopus to Lin. Zhangyú arrives at that time, and when she is aware of the situation, she rags at Feng because she believes there is a link between this white octopus and the sea's big octopus. Feng, on the other hand, thinks that everything is useless, which is why they are at argument. Feng yells at Zhangyú after being broken heart. Zhangyú warns him that he will regret his mistake one day. On the other hand, we see two of Feng's friends fishing on the water. In the meantime, the giant octopus assaults and kills them. Feng gets upset when he learns of this. Because I may suppose that many times ago, Zhangyú claims that I've previously informed you. Not only are we both in danger now, but the entire island is as well. After hearing this, Feng announces that he will take revenge on the monster. Because he has broken my restaurant before, now he has killed my friends. Lin is shown in the lab scene, is about to kill the white octopus. Zhangyú does not want to kill it, rather, she wishes for it to live. As a result, This white octopus can be used to test the gene mutation. Zhangyú carefully touches the white octopus later, when no one is in the lab. The white octopus does not harm her, but Zhangyú's friends arrive in the meanwhile. They inform her that a DNA test has disclosed that this white octopus and the huge octopus are related as mother and son. Furthermore, we know that the white octopus is 75 years old. This is shocking because octopuses can only survive for about 5 or 6 years. Zhangyú says that it could happen possibly because of nuclear radiation. Her companion says that after listening to her, we didn't find anything like nuclear radiation in the white octopus. After hearing this, Zhangyú suspects that someone has already done some research on this octopus. Lin is later seen opening his grandfather's old diary. He pulls out a broken badge with a serial number written on the back. Because of the broken badge, it wasn't completed. Zhangyú knows that Lin has publicized his research. On the other hand, we see an army officer talking with his senior. He says after analyzing the damaged part of the badge, "I've found the badge's clue." On the other side, Zhangyú rags on Lin that why he has published the research. Meanwhile, we see the army officer also reaches with his fellows. He points his rifle down on Lin and yells angrily, "Why didn't you notify us about this? Why don't you tell us about your research? I no longer require your help, rather, I require your experiment." Zhangyú, on the other hand, gained access to Lin's laptop. She discovers old photographs and secret reports. Lin and his assistant, meantime, have captured her. Lin knows that one of his assistants gave reports to an army officer and informed him of the research. Now that the army officer is aware of the research, he asks that Lin inform him of everything. Lin claims that his dad worked as a scientist in a German lab. He was forced to research marine animals and work on gene mutations. He studies marine animals. Later, he researched on them but unluckily his experiments failed. Later, he tested on an octopus but the octopus safely runs from there. After some time the research center was closed. I've been searching for this octopus for a long time ago, because it can help me in discovering the genuine antidote. Lin shows the half-broken badge, and the army officer later brings out its half-piece. Lin understands that this army officer was engaged in everything that had happened up to this point. Later, the office appears in the middle of the water after capturing the white octopus. Feng comes there but the army people come there going to throw him into the water. Meanwhile, the baby octopus holds him before falling into the sea. Feng was escaped to be the meal of the shark. As the baby octopus saved his life they start to have a friendship. Meanwhile, the giant octopus comes there. The people of the officer continuously start to fire at him. Zhangyú, on the other hand, drags Feng outside. The baby octopus was furthermore released from its cage into the water. Meanwhile, they begin to fire at the baby octopus as well. Later, the baby octopus goes inside the water. Watching this the giant octopus becomes ragged and begins to attack them. Meanwhile, the officer makes a dangerous attack on him. The giant octopus was not dead but runs. After a while, after assaulting their ship he controls their ship. For this reason, they have to jump into the sea. They organize to make it to the shore while swimming. And a massive ship sank their ship totally into the water. Later, Lin uses his grandfather's map and after following it, he takes everyone to a cave in which the secret research base is there. The place of his grandfather's experiments. They reach ahead after entering the cave. Meanwhile, the gigantic octopus, who had been following them, arrives. They stop for a rest after going a little further. Later, a giant octopus assaults them after arriving. They fire at him once more, but the giant octopus kills many of their people. In the meantime, they're all terrified. They were successful in discovering the research's secret base. They go inside after finding this. Lin is later asked by the officer to find the antidote. The antidote that his grandfather has vaccinated the octopus. He asks Zhangyú to prepare for the test. Lin arrives at a place where many antidotes were available. He starts to extract the real antidote from them. Officers, on the other hand, are exploring this area. Lin gives the officer an antidote when they find a lot of explosive material. As a result, the officer becomes quite pleased. Because after this, his army will be quite powerful. Officers have planted explosive substance all around the place. Zhangyú is asked by the officer to check the antidote. When Zhangyú's test fails, the officer becomes ragged. He shoots at Ling's leg and adds, "You've lied to me again." In the meantime, the gigantic octopus arrives. As a result, the men of the officer started to fire at him. When the huge octopus becomes ragged and begins to kill them, Feng and Zimo try to take, but he can't run fast since a bullet injured his leg. Even though the giant octopus was pursuing them, they don't leave Lin alone. After capturing him, they hide at a location. The giant octopus almost killed many people including the officer. Meanwhile, a heavyweight iron object falls on Lin's feet while he is running. He had recently been harmed, and as a result, his condition has deteriorated. Lin, on the other hand, gives Zimo the actual antidote. Because he's kept the original antidote hidden from the officer. Because if he gets the real antidote, he could use its power to wipe out the entire globe. Lin passes away while saying this story. Feng instructs Zimo to fetch the antidote from the area. He goes to get the explosive remote by himself. Meanwhile, the officer has him in custody, and the two of them are fighting. As Zimo was already present, the officer dominated Feng. He instructs Zimo to perform a test on the true antidote. Feng later, after taking explosives for 2 minutes. It means they have only 2 minutes. Feng was beaten up by the officer. On the other hand, Zimo, who was testing the antidote, had completed her test. It indicates that their research is successful. It demonstrates that this is the genuine antidote, and the officer becomes happy. He is killed by a gigantic octopus. Feng, after watching this, take the antidote from him. After capturing Zimo, he begins to flee. Meanwhile, the explosives start to explode, and the area starts to destroy. They flee, and the gigantic octopus is unable to pursue them. They proceed to dive into the ocean in order to save their lives. Both reached the shore. Feng was senseless as he was faint. Zimo becomes quite sad, and after a while, Feng restores his senses. Meanwhile, we see the baby octopus was watching them. We later observe the scene after 7 years, when Zimo and Feng's son were playing on the beach. He unexpectedly starts driving into the ocean, but the baby octopus saves him. Meanwhile, Zimo and Feng, his parents, arrive. The child asks if the tale about the baby octopus is true. The story you told me about the octopus who saved your life. They start to smile after hearing to this. And that's it. If you are a lover of similar content like this, take a look at my distinct videos, and if you love it, please break the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. And hit the notification horn, catch sight of you in the successive video.